Hi, I'm Scott Connor and I'm here today in the putting lab to talk to you about putter grips and putter grip size. Putter grips have been quite a fashion accessory over the last few years and have been quite an important factor for a lot of players on tour with regards to the success. You see many major winners, many tour players that have won tournaments with thicker grips, different size and shape grips. And today we're going to discuss what the pros and cons are for going for a different size or shape of grip. Firstly, we're going to discuss the size factor of the grip. So, if the grip is too thin, what can happen with the grip is it can allow the hands to be more active throughout the stroke. So, throughout the stroke, it can make it easier for the hands to turn, and as you can see there, the face can then open and close. This can cause inconsistencies in the striking and the direction due to that. So a popular trend is to go thicker with the grip size, and as you can see here with a thicker size grip, it can then make it easier to keep the hands quieter throughout the stroke, and as you can see there, the face isn't opening and closing as much, and that is going to be a lot more consistent with regards to the stroke. In the putting lab we have a fantastic selection of putter grips. We put these grips onto the putters so that you can get a real feel for what it's going to be like on your current putter. The reason why we do this is in the past many people would put a putter grip on their putter to see what it feel like the idea of a thicker grip possibly, spend quite a bit of money on this, and then after a few rounds of golf decide it's not for them and then they have to change the grip again. This isn't ideal for the customer. Now we're going to discuss how the size of the grip can fit your hands better or worse. So if the grip is too thin and you have large size hands, sometimes the grip can look too small, doesn't fill your hands as well, and depending on the way you grip the putter, it can look like it's not really fitting your hands properly. So a different grip size or a different grip shape can fit this better. On the flip side, if you have small hands, something that is too thick can make the hands almost too separate, too cumbersome in the hands. So it's really important to find the right size of grip to suit your hands and the way you grip the putter. Some grips are different shapes in order to aid in a different way of putting. So this grip's very thin on the side of the putter, and what this enables is a grip that is more level with each other. So you can see here both hands are much more level. And what that does is it allows the shoulders to sit much more squarer, whereas if one hand is lower than the other, you can see there all of a sudden the shoulders are on a tilt. Also from a sort of side on angle, if one hand is lower than the other, the shoulders can also aim more open to the target line. Whereas if the shoulders are squarer and the hands are more level, it's much easier to keep the shoulders square at address and keep it squarer through the impact area. Other grips are also quite flat, forward facing with the grips, and what this can sometimes allow is if this is facing the target line, because it's quite large and quite a flat surface area, when putting towards the target, some players feel as though they can feel where the face of the putter is through the impact area, which can give them a better sensation of getting the face square at the impact. Finally, some tips on how to grip the putter. There are lots of different ways of gripping the putter. Many people grip it similar to a long game grip. My advice would be the long game grip is designed for a purpose, which is to allow power and rotation of the club throughout the stroke. So it might be worth looking at some other alternatives to gripping the putter in order to get less rotation and a more consistent stroke and distance control. One way I advise for gripping the putter is possibly putting your index finger on your top hand, so for a right-handed golfer this is your left hand, pointing that and putting that over some of your other fingers on your bottom hand, on your right hand for a right-handed putter. What this can do is it can tense up the muscles in your left wrist, and this can keep things much more stable through the impact area, allowing for more consistency. Many amateurs tend to point the bottom finger, so the opposite hand, the bottom hand. You won't see many tour players or good golfers pointing this bottom finger. For a lot of amateurs this feels like it's more controlled, more consistent, but as you can see, a right hand actually, the finger can sort of almost push the putt, and this can add loft to the putt, add inconsistency, add speed, so that's not something I would recommend. Also, a popular way of gripping the putter for a lot of putting instructors is to place the putter more in the lifeline of your hands. What this can do is, if it's in the lifeline of your hand and the wrist breaks down, the putter face can still work towards the target line. Whereas if the putter's gripped sort of more in the fingers of the hands and it's more in this sort of position, there can be again a lot more rotation and consistency with the stroke.